Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. This video I'd like to show you part 9 of the Elements Crochet Along designed by Sandra from Hooks and Yarn. On her website you can also find the pattern, the written pattern for this design. I'll be using Scheepjes stonewashed yarn to take you through all the rounds that make up part 9 in combination with a 4mm hook. Part 9 is these rows here. We'll be doing a few more bobbles, making this nice decorative center, and we'll be extending the textured stitches that are in the corner. I'll take you step by step through the rows that make up this part. Thank you for watching. Hope it's a useful video for you. Round 59, same start as always. In the corner start with the Granny Special corner, and then in all of these spaces work a Granny Special, all of them. And then when you get here, work that starting Granny Special with the treble in the skipped stitch, and I'll see you at this point where we'll work the stitches that are in the middle. Just work that last Granny Special with the treble in that skipped stitch. Going to work the same as before, so we're going to skip the next few stitches, so it's that stitch there and that one, skip them both, and then in the next stitch work a half double. This time only 2 half doubles. That's 1 and 2. The next stitch in this front post treble here, we're going to work a bobble. There's 5 legs in one stitch. That's 2, 3, 4 and 5. 6 loops on your hook. Take them all off. So the bobble in the front post stitch. Going to make a single crochet in the next. There's that stitch there. Going to make a single crochet in there. I'm just going to help my bobble to pop forward. And a single crochet. Next stitch is the bobble. I'm going to work a front post single around this stitch. On this side in, come out the other side of the bobble, and then tie it all together, making your bobble pop forward. I'm going to skip the next stitch and then work a single crochet. The next stitch is that one, that immediately kind of that hidden stitch. Going to skip that and then go to the next and work a single crochet. Your next stitch is a bobble in the front post here, to work a bobble in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legs, and take them all off. A single crochet in the next stitch, so it's again immediately in that following stitch, work a single crochet, followed by a front post around the bobble again. Again around the bobble, exactly the same as we've done many times before, a front post single around that bobble. Again we're going to skip the next stitch and then work a single crochet. So the next stitch is that one there, going to skip that and then go to the next and work a single. Bobble, the following stitch is again a front post, so going to work a bobble in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 legs, take them all off. Single crochet in the next stitch, which is again that one there. So I'm just trying to help my bobble pop forward. A single crochet, Then around the next stitch, which is the bobble, again a front post stitch, front post single around that bobble. Again, skip the next stitch, which is that stitch immediately after the single, after the bobble, and go to the next stitch and work a single crochet. Bobble again in the next, which is in this one here, and at this point we're halfway. All our bobbles. I'm going to work another bobble in there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and take them all off. Skip the next stitch. I'm going to skip that stitch, and then in that one work a single crochet. So skip that stitch and go to the next, and work a single crochet. Skipping that stitch, go to the next to work a single. Front post single around this bobble. This is the 4th one, so in case you see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4th one from the previous round. Work a front post single around this bobble. Skipping the next stitch, that's that stitch, skipping that stitch, go to the following, where we're going to work a single crochet. We're not going to skip the next stitch, my apologies, go back. And the next stitch work a single crochet, and then in that stitch we work a bobble. That would be more logical also, because in all these front post stitches we're working bobbles. So just kind of keep your wits about you in this row. So immediately after that bobble, after that working that front post single around the bobble, work a single crochet in the next, and now in the following stitch, that's the front post here, work the bobble. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then take them all off again. Now we do skip the next stitch. That's that one, that's why I was confused. We're going to skip that stitch, and in the following stitch work a single crochet. I'm going to help my bobble a bit forward, and a single crochet. Front post single around the next bobble, that's that one. Again, around the bobble, work a front post single, and a single crochet in the next stitch, and that's that little one there, that kind of one that we've always been skipping up till now. In that next stitch work a single crochet. The following stitch, which is again a front post stitch, work a bobble in there. So you're going to work a bobble in all of your front post stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is leg number 5. Take them all off. Skipping the next stitch, so that stitch there, going to skip that and go one stitch further and work a single crochet. Next up is the bobble, work a front post single around this bobble. This is bobble number 6, that's also our last one. A single crochet in the next stitch, so that's that stitch there, that one. Front post single in there, and then in the next stitch, which is our last treble here, our last front post stitch, front post double crochet I believe, work a bobble. 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and take them all off. Skipping the next stitch, work a half double in the stitch after. So I'm going to skip that stitch and then work a half double in the stitch after. That's one, only 2 half doubles. You can see this bobble is still a little flat, so let me just help that a little bit. There you go. So you've skipped 1 stitch and worked 2 half doubles. At this point you've got 1 stitch left before you get to the next space, and here you're going to start in that space there. You're going to start all your granny specials again. So this will be the double crochet, the treble in that skipped stitch, and the double crochet, and then work all of those granny specials again in your edge, all of them, until you get to the corner where you work a granny special corner. Go all the way around everything we've just done, and here just remember to skip the right stitches at the right places. In essence, you're going to work a bobble on every front post stitch. Go all the way around, and then I'll see you for the next round. Round 60. Again, start on the corner with the granny special. With the granny corner, and then in each of these spaces work a granny special until you get, and it's quite a lot of them, I believe there are up to 15 or so. Then here work that starting granny special, so the double crochet, the treble in the skipped stitch, and another double crochet in there, and that's the point where I'll see you for what we do behind the bobbles. I've just done that. Let's not call the starting granny special, and now we're onto the bobbles. What I'm going to do is going to skip the next stitch and this hidden stitch here, so those two, I'm going to skip both of those, and then the next stitch is the bobble. In the bobble we're going to work a front post single crochet, so around the bobble, exactly the way we've done before, work a front post single crochet. On the next 3 stitches work a single crochet on each, so that's immediately the next stitch. The second stitch is a front post that's around this bobble, and then the third is another single crochet. I'm going to repeat this little unit with the front post single and the 3 single crochets. I'm going to repeat that a few more times. So around the next bobble, work a front post, single crochet, followed by 3 singles. The first one, 1, 2, and 3. I've now done the repeat 2 times. Just move everything a bit. I'm going to do this on all these bobbles. So the next one is again front post single around the bobble, followed by 3 single crochets, and this is the rhythm you're going to do until you're to the other side. 2, 3. So I've done the repeat 3 times. Front post single crochet again, followed by 3 singles. 1, 2, 3. Front post single and 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And I believe this will be the last repeat. Front post single, and then 1, 2, 3 single crochets. I'm on to the last bobble here, the last one. I'm going to work a front post single crochet around that last bobble. So on this side, come out the other side, and this will just help to pop your bobble forward. I'm going to skip the next 2 stitches and then immediately start a granny special. So I'm going to skip that stitch and that one, and then here work the granny special. So that's the double crochet twice over, then the treble in the skipped stitch, and the double crochet. Then this starts the whole stretch of granny specials. You've got that space and this one and that one and everywhere until you get to the corner where you're going to work a granny special corner. Go all the way around and then close on your first stitch. Round 61, slip stitch to your corner, make a granny special corner, and then work a granny special in all your spaces. I'm going to do 16 of those, and when you've done all those granny specials, going to work a starting granny here in the skipped stitch. I'll just work that with you. So in there, work a double crochet, treble in the skipped stitch, and then a double crochet in that space again. I'm going to skip the next stitch, which is going to be this the front post single crochet. I'm going to skip that stitch and then work a double crochet in next. It's going to be the stitch just after here. So in that first single crochet they work a double crochet. Now work 22 more, which will bring you to the other side. So I'm going to work 22 double crochet, so plus that one is 23. And then this is number 22. So I've now worked 23 double crochets. Let me just check. So that's the first one. That's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yes, I've got 23. So that's that first one plus 22. At this point you have one stitch left. We're going to skip that stitch. You see you've got that front post single crochet. You've got that one left. Then in this space going to work a starting granny special. So it's a double crochet in this skipped stitch from the previous round. You work the treble and then work a double crochet again in that space. You can see how you're skipping that front post stitch, that front post single there. Then along the edge now continue and work a granny special in all of those spaces, 16 of them, and then get to the corner you work a granny special corner. Go all the way around. This is a reasonably straightforward round, working these double crochets here in the middle and skipping a stitch at the beginning and at the end. So also here, where is it here, remember to skip that front post single there as well as the stitch that you're hiding there. You're going to go all the way around and then close on your first stitch with a slip stitch. Round 62, I've already done the beginning of the round, so I've worked the corner exactly the same as before, worked all these granny specials, which are 17 of them, and then we're ready to do the bit here in the middle. And it's getting harder and harder for me to get everything in front of the camera. So in the skipped stitch here, we're going to work a granny special. So that's in that space is a double crochet, treble in that skipped stitch, and then another double crochet in that space. I'm going to skip a few stitches. The pattern says to skip 2 stitches, but of course we're going to actually be skipping 3 because you've got this hidden stitch here that you're skipping, and 1, 2. Then you go to this third stitch there. You can see how I'm skipping that hidden stitch plus 2, and then I'm going to go there. Then in that stitch work a double crochet. Around I'm going to work a treble around the bobble, the front post single that's in that bobble. So this is the third bobble. Work a treble there, and in the next stitch work a double crochet. That's in the next stitch, so not in the same stitch. So there, in the next stitch, work a double crochet. And then this is a like kind of a starting granny special that we've just worked. Going to skip the next stitch. It's going to be in that stitch. Skip that, and then work a half double on the next 13. That's 1, 2, 3. Continue until you have 13. 4 and 13. There we go. 13 half doubles. Going to skip a stitch, that one, and then go to the next and work a double crochet. Again, going to work a treble, just like we did on the other side around the bobble, on bobble number 11. So if you're in doubt, just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's this one here. A treble around that single crochet that's around the bobble, so exactly the same as on the other side. Now what's different on this side is that we now work the double crochet in the same stitch. Just check, where's that same stitch? Yeah, that's the same stitch. Because on the other side we worked it in the next stitch, and here we work it in the same stitch. You have 2 stitches left, and then the space. Skipping those last 2 stitches, in the space work a granny special again. So it's a double crochet, and in the skip stitch work the treble, and then a double crochet again, and then in the next space work a granny special around the treble here, etc., until you get to the corner where you work the corner. Go all the way around and close on your first stitch, and just remember that first one you skip a stitch, so you work these 2 double crochets in, not in the same stitch, and here you work them both in the same stitch. Oh sorry, this one, you work both of them in the same stitch. Round 63, in your corner work a granny special corner, and then work a granny special on the next 18 spaces. And when you've done that, I will see you at this point here. So first do all of that, and then we can continue with this small part here in the middle. So I've already done all of those granny specials, 18 of those, and that last one here is over this this treble here that you made coming down into that stitch there. So that's the last one. Then I'm going to go to the next space here. We're going to work a granny special with a double crochet. The treble is in the skipped stitch. They're in the middle in that skipped stitch. And then another double crochet in the space to the back. I'm going to skip over this granny special and go to the next space, and there again do a granny special. Double crochet, and my work is really big and large and difficult to manage. You've also got a skipped stitch there. In that skipped stitch work the treble and another double crochet to the back. I'm going to come to the small straight edge here in the middle. Going to skip a stitch and then work 10 double crochets. In the background you'll hear my cat playing. Going to skip, of course, this hidden stitch and the next stitch, so we're actually skipping 2 stitches. Then in the following stitch work a double crochet, and that's going to be the first of 10. It's 1, this is 2. My cat is really enjoying itself here. For the moment you sit down and you turn on the camera, that's the moment that he starts to play. It's like he's sleeping all day, and in the moment I start to do something, he wakes up and he says playtime. That's just Murphy's Law. That's just how it goes. And I do 10 of these double crochets. I believe I need one more. This should be number 10. Let me just double check and count. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, that's number 10. So I've now done 10 double crochets. We're now going to work a granny special in this space here. I'm going to skip this last stitch. I'm going to skip that one. And then in that space work the double crochet, treble in the skipped stitch. Just going to go into that skipped stitch and then come back up and work the double. Just going to move over to the next space here. So you're going to skip this granny special here, going to go to the next space, double crochet twice over, and again that skipped stitch there, the one that's readily available, work the treble in there, and then the double crochet in the same space. And this you're going to repeat. Here's the next space, work its granny special. I'm going to repeat this until you're to the corner. Now I can just work the treble around the front post. So I've now done 3 of these. Continue this, work all these specials until you get to the corner. So you're going to do that on this straight edge until you get to the corner. Here you work a corner exactly the same way we've done before. Go all the way around and then close on your first stitch with a slip stitch. When you're all the way around, you're finished with part 9. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again next time.